Today on Showtime College Football, we break down our favorite non-conference games heading into the 2025 season. Let's get to it. All right, today's episode is sponsored by our friends over at CFB Team Fantasy, where you draft teams, not players. Me and Chase played this last year. Honestly, I loved it. It was super fun. Any college football diehard fan or any college football fan knew.
This is not for the casuals,
yes.
though. This is for the guys who know something.
This is for the guys who know something, but also I think it helps those who don't know as much. To where how this game works is it's just like fantasy football, but you take turns drafting teams, not the players, and it goes off of the other teams in that state.
Yes. So it's a little bit interesting. Basically, it's the team is going to win that state, whoever has the best record in the state. So, for instance, we've seen Fresno State win the state of California in the past. Mm-hmm. Even though USC was a great team with Caleb Williams at the time, Fresno State ended up finishing, I believe, 10-2. Yeah. Our USC was 9-3. I'm trying to remember what season. I think it was 2022.
Well, I think it was like 11-2 and 10-3 because of the bowls.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
So Fresno State would win the state with USC coming in second, and you get points based off each of those. Last year was crazy.
Yeah.
Florida was completely upside down. So Florida State was projected to be the top.
I remember we had a little draft pool with some of our favorite followers. Like, we'll do it again this year. I drafted Florida State with my first pick because it was like an easy, like 12 points or 15 points, whatever it was.
They're probably going to have the best record in the state.
Like, we all know Florida State was probably one of the worst teams in college
football.
Had
0 points.
Yeah, to where I lost a lot because of that. But it's super fun to where check it out. I loved it.
Yeah, check it out. Download now. Link is in the description below. Yeah. Welcome back to Showtime College Football. I'm your host, Chase Davidson, with my co-host, Chase Sneddon. Today, we're going to be breaking down our best non-conference games of 2025, along with a few honorable mentions. We're going to highlight 4 non-conference games for you guys, and let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into our first non-conference game of 2025 that we're excited for. Kansas at Missouri.
It is an old rivalry that is being reborn. It was a big rivalry, the border war, back when they were both in the Big 12.
Yes.
I loved that Big 12 because it's kind of what I grew up with. But looking at the history of it, the current win streak is Missouri. It's 3 in a row, and it dates back to 2009 to 2011. To where it's been a while since they've played. It'll be 14 years now, to where it's kind of exciting. It's coming back. All time, Missouri leads 57 wins to 54 wins.
That's close for a rivalry.
Especially,
really close.
Like, I don't know, I guess besides a select few years from Missouri here and there, and I guess Kansas as of recently, they've never been like 2 powerhouse teams. But it's always just been like they're one of their bigger rivalries that they've always had.
Yeah, I would say Kansas fans would definitely say, and Missouri fans as well, this is their number one rivalry. Kansas State gets more love nowadays, obviously, because they play every year. But I would say most Kansas fans agree that this is the biggest rivalry, and it's a dormant rivalry. We don't have that many of these, or we're growing in terms of how many of these we have. Nebraska, Colorado, A&M, Texas that just started up again. So this is an exciting one to see. I'm so happy that they're actually playing. This one's exciting because we look back. This rivalry has such a famous game. 2007, Kansas Jayhawks. Were they number 2 and number 4 Missouri?
Yeah.
Oh man,
that 2007 season was just wild.
That clip right there. 2007, number 2 Kansas, number 4 Missouri in Arrowhead Stadium. Yeah. The stakes are enormous.
Yeah, I think we posted it one time.
We did. Yeah. That's
crazy.
One of my favorite moments in college football history. It's just Kansas had been kind of trash up like in the seasons before that. Jayhawks fans would agree, and even right after that weren't great. But that 2007 season, they came into that game I think 11-0. Yeah. Ended up losing to Missouri in that one, real shocker, and then lost I think to Oklahoma as well, or maybe they beat Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game.
I don't remember.
Something like that. Anyways, but then Kansas went on to beat Virginia Tech, I think in the Orange Bowl. Yeah. Correct me guys if I'm wrong, but. Crazy history in this run.
Yeah, but like you said, old Big 12, tons of fun rivalries there, and I kind of hope they make this one like an every year non-conference game, kind of like Oregon State, Washington State that they've kept so far. I guess it's only been 1 year, but I kind of hope some of these old rivalries come back and stay. Honestly, I think Texas Tech would be a fun one to bring back.
That'd be a good one because they have some history from 07 as well. Or is that 08?
That was I think 08 or 09, Michael Crabtree game.
Anyways.
Real ones know.
But yeah, Jalen Daniels is still at Kansas. Brady Cook is gone from Mizzou.
Along with Luther Burden.
Missouri,
a lot of questions in the air. I haven't seen too much of their recruits. But yeah, Jalen Daniels is there, obviously. But they did lose. It's Dean, right? The running back?
Neal. Devin Neal.
Neal, yes.
That's a big blow to Kansas. Kansas is a tough one because last year they had one of the weirdest seasons we've ever seen in football in a long time. They went 1-5 to start, losing 5 straight. And then they decided to, I forgot we're like kind of decent at football. And they went on to win.
They ruined like everyone's perfect season in the Big 12.
They beat Iowa State, and of course at BYU sucked. Versus Colorado, they beat 4 ranked teams in a row. Oh wait, they lost to Kansas State, but they beat three ranked teams in a row to finish last season, which was just absurd.
Yeah, no, that'll definitely be a fun game. But moving on to the next one, we have kind of a sleeper game. Me and Chase decided to throw this in just because of like the publicity as of recently. It's UCLA at UNLV. We get Nico versus Dan Mullen's first year at Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas, in Allegiant Stadium.
I'm excited for this one. I'm excited to see how UCLA is just because they have the money to bring in talent. But I don't know. It's just going to be interesting to see. This is kind of the first test, I guess, for Dan Mullen and his Rebel squad. Yeah,
definitely the first test. It's just 2 new teams. I wouldn't say this is as high profile as the other ones we're going to bring up later today.
Yeah.
But it's just a fun one. I like bringing up because like there's plenty of big non-conference games we've talked about, but this one is just like I don't know. I feel like the non-casuals know this is a good one.
Yeah, no.
Like I think UCLA is on the way up. Had kind of a rocky season last year. I believe they finished 5-7, and it was just kind of a weird season. Got the new coach. But I think UCLA's on the way up. They still have a pretty good defense. So I think it's going to be really exciting. I think UNLV does pull off the upset. We'll see. But it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited for that one as just kind of a random game I'll just watch on that Saturday.
It's going to be a great one.
Yeah.
But we want to highlight, this is probably the best one.
This is the one I'm the most excited for.
Yes. This is probably the best non-conference game of the entire. We still have a couple more after this, but this is huge. And in the last few weeks, I've realized how big this is because I have both these teams in my spring top 10.
Well, not just you. I have them too, but I think most college football analysts, probably fans as well, have both of these teams in their top 25 and probably top 10.
This is a playoff rematch. We saw this game in 2019.
That's very true.
Big game.
Championship game.
Yes. No, it was a championship. You're right. This is LSU in Death Valley, the other Death Valley.
Yes.
Clemson.
The 2 Death Valleys are clashing.
It's going to be crazy. Clemson is favored by 3. I saw that there's some, if we have a week 1 game, some of these have odds already. Clemson's favored by 3.
You got Cade Klubnik at Clemson and Nessmeyer at LSU, both coming back. Both have brought in more talent and a lot of returning players for both teams. To where I'm very excited for this game, like you said. It's probably my favorite one, just because there's so much stock and hype going for both these teams right now. It'll just be kind of just like a first test for both, I guess, kind of give us a highlight of what to expect from these teams this season.
Yeah, and week 1 matchups are always they're just wild. There's impossible to predict.
Yeah.
Teams will play so far underneath what they can be that season because it's just there's no preseason. It's just right into the game. Well, that's the thing.
It's like you've been playing each other all season, all summer. It's kind of like Oregon-Idaho last year. It's like it was just like a random game, and Oregon struggled so bad. But then, obviously, by the end of the season, we were a completely different team. To where this one, it's both top 10 teams probably that week 1 game.
Yeah, I bet both these teams will be top 10.
Yeah.
At least it's going to be Clemson will be top 10. I bet LSU's top 12 minimum. So this is going to be pretty exciting. Obviously, you have Garrett Nussmeier coming back. He's one of the biggest, Heisman candidates in the preseason here.
And obviously Cade Klubnik probably is too, but Nussmeier's a projected top quarterback in this next year's draft tour. I
would say we probably have 2 of the top 4. I'm going to say conservative because I haven't quite looked over my list yet. I would say 2 of the top 4 quarterbacks in the country.
For sure.
Preseason going into this game.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah, and this next game we want to talk about real quick before we kind of give our honorable mentions is kind of another big, I think it's week 1 game. It's Notre Dame at Miami. Ooh. You got Carson Beck coming over from Georgia to the Miami squad for some crazy $8-9 million NIL deal. But then you got Notre Dame. They're trying to figure out their quarterback.
Yeah.
But they got arguably the best running back duo in the nation, to where very excited for this one. Jeremiah Love.
That guy's pretty good.
I think
he's pretty good.
He's my early Heisman favorite for this year. To where very excited to see this game. See if Miami can actually sell out the stadium this time.
Yeah, I would love to see Hard Rock Stadium like bumping. That'd be pretty sweet.
Kirk Herbstreit. There was a recent quote. I forgot what account posted it, but he said I think it was probably Miami FSU, but it was actually sold out. And
really?
It's like, yeah.
Like the whole stadium, not just the lower bowl.
Not just lower bowl, but I don't know if it was sold out, but when the Miami fans are there, it's like one of the craziest things.
That's what I've heard.
To where
we grew up in an era where Miami hasn't been great. My parents and my older brothers
we were born right after
saw a powerhouse blue blood Miami that had a full Orange Bowl every week.
Best defense.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then we missed the 1990s Miami. We sure know about it. We are educated, but we have not witnessed it live in our generation, really. There was that 2017 Miami team that was pretty good, but
yeah, they were pretty good.
The
birth of
the turnover chain, yeah. But Notre Dame is favored -1.5 in that game, so that we already have an odd. I'm surprised they're not favored by more. I personally, guys, go check out our Spring Top 25 video. Notre Dame is pretty high on my list in the Spring Top 25. I'm not going to give away where I have them, but I don't have Miami in my top 10. So I don't either. I don't know. I feel like Notre Dame should be favored by a lot more in this game.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's literally May.
But it's also the first week of the season and it also doesn't help that Notre Dame, they haven't decided a starting quarterback yet.
Yep, that's true.
That's true. There's a lot of questions there. But yeah, so definitely excited for that one. Another Notre Dame game, just honorable mention, is against A&M. That one's at Notre Dame this year because they played at College Station last year.
Yep, that's another one of the honorable mentions. We also have a few others we want to talk about that we just to throw them out there because we picked 4 that we really wanted to talk about, but obviously I don't even know if this is the top 4. It was just the 4 that we thought were most interesting and not necessarily just the best.
Yeah, obviously Clemson LSU is probably the number one game.
It's probably easily most people would agree about. With that, yeah.
But there's obviously other great games. You got like Boise State at Notre Dame, Bama going to renovated Campbell Stadium at FSU, along with Georgia Tech, Georgia, which was a 4 overtime game last year. And then obviously,
and Georgia Tech's only gotten better.
Only better. Exactly.
Only better.
You got Haynes King, and then obviously week 1, probably all eyes on this one. Rematch of the semifinal. Texas travels to Columbus for the Buckeyes of Ohio State.
All you Buckeye and Longhorn fans, don't hate on us here. We feel like everyone's kind of talking about that one, so we'll give it its flowers. But I feel like everyone's been talking about that. We here at Showtime, we're different. When we
like to highlight little games here and there, but
we
obviously
get the big stuff, but also the little stuff.
We'll talk about Texas Ohio State as we get closer
we'll be
to
talking
the
about
season when we have a set roster, set whatever, to where this is kind of just like a little preview of just random games to look out for.
Yeah, but anyways, check out. We'll be doing a part 2 of this video in the coming months before the season starts, and check out our other videos. And see you next time.
That's it from Showtime
College football.